He walked into a Christmas party and turned it into a graveyard, 3 men dead before the music stopped. If you want to know how America's most dangerous gangsters built their empires in blood and silence, stay with this story, because this night changed everything. Brooklyn, New York. December 26, 1925. 3 a.m. Richard "Peg-Leg" Lonergan pushes through the double doors of the Adonis Social Club at 152 20th Street. 5 men follow him inside. Cornelius Needles Ferry walks close behind. Aaron Harms enters next. James Hart and Patrick Happy Maloney bring up the rear. Joseph Ragtime Howard steps in last. All 6 are drunk. All 6 are White Hand Gang members. All 6 are Irish. The club is packed. A jazz combo plays on a large stage. A mirrored ball hangs from the ceiling. Colored lights spin across the dance floor. Couples dance. Men drink at the bar. Women work as cigarette girls. Banners hang overhead reading Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. The place smells like whiskey and perfume. Lonergan limps across the room. He lost his leg in an accident years ago. His wooden prosthetic makes a hollow sound on the hardwood floor. His crutches lean against the wall near the entrance. He is 25 years old. He has been arrested 14 times. He carries a .38 caliber pistol in his coat. A fresh toothpick dangles from his lips. The Adonis Social Club occupies a 2-story building. The ground floor is painted black. The upper floor is painted yellow. A family of 6 lives upstairs. The club was incorporated in 1917. It was founded on brotherhood between Italian and Irish war veterans. That brotherhood died long ago. Lonergan walks past tables where Italian men sit with Irish women. His face darkens. He stops. He shouts across the room. "Come back with white men for Christ's sake." His voice carries over the piano music. The Irish girls look away. Their Italian boyfriends tense. No one moves. The white-handers spread out across the club. They bump into tables. They knock over chairs. They shout racial slurs. Wops. Dagos. The words echo through the room. Piano player Joe Browning keeps playing. His hands never leave the keys. The music continues. Lonergan and his men are here for a reason. The White Hand Gang controls parts of Brooklyn's waterfront. They run the docks. They take cuts from cargo shipments. They tax the longshoremen. They enforce their territory with fists and guns. But they are losing ground. The Italian Black Hand Gang is pushing in. Frankie Yale leads the Italians. Yale wants the docks. He wants the money. He wants the white-handers gone. For 2 years the gangs have fought. Bodies pile up in alleys. Men disappear from the streets. The violence spreads through Brooklyn like fire. Wild Bill Lovett led the white-handers before Lonergan. Lovett was found dead on November 1, 1923. Shot in the neck. Head bashed in with a cleaver. His body was dumped at 25 Bridge Street. Lonergan took over after Lovett died. Lonergan is Lovett's brother-in-law. Lonergan's sister and was married to Lovett. Lonergan hates Italians. He hates them for taking Irish dock jobs. He hates them for dating Irish women. He hates them for pushing into White Hand territory. Tonight he brings that hate into Yale's club. The owner of the Adonis Social Club is Giacomo "Jack Stickum" Staybill. Staybill is partners with Joseph Notall and Furia Goglia. All 3 work for Frankie Yale. Yale is not in the club tonight. But his people are watching. His people are waiting. Alphonse Capone sits near the entrance. He is 26 years old. He grew up in Brooklyn. He worked for Yale before moving to Chicago. He runs bootlegging operations in Chicago now. He works for Johnny Torrio. He came to New York for his son. His son Albert Francis Capone is 5 years old. The boy goes by Sonny. Sonny had a mastoid infection. Capone brought him to a specialist in New York. The operation saved Sonny's life. The surgery left him partly deaf. Capone's wife May stayed with Sonny in the hospital. Capone came to the Adonis Club to see old friends. At least that is what he tells people. Capone watches Lonergan move through the club. He watches the white-handers insult the patrons. He watches the tension rise. He does not drink. He does not dance. He sits and waits. The clock moves past 3 a.m. The party is still going. More than 20 people fill the small space. Women in flapper dresses crowd the dance floor. Men in suits lean against the bar. Bartender Anthony Desso pours whiskey. Three Irish cigarette girls move between tables. They wear short skirts and carry trays of Lucky Strikes. Lonergan gets louder. His men get bolder. They push Italian men away from the bar. They grab drinks from tables. They make threats. The mood shifts. The music feels wrong. The laughter sounds forced. People start looking at the exits. Three Italian men enter the club. They are well dressed. They do not go to the bar. They do not sit at tables. They stand near the walls. They watch Lonergan. They watch his men. Their hands stay in their coat pockets. Lonergan sees them. He smiles. He shouts another insult. His men laugh. The Irish girls at the cigarette counter stop working. One of them, Alice Callahan, moves toward the door. She feels what is coming. The piano player hits a wrong note. The lights are still spinning. The mirrored ball throws fractured light across the room. Pitchers of beer sit untouched on the bar. Glasses of whiskey remain full on tables. The banners overhead sway slightly from the movement below. Lonergan's hand moves toward his coat. Toward his .38 pistol. Toward the gun he will never draw. Capone snaps his fingers. The lights go out. Darkness swallows the room. Tables overturn. Glass shatters. Women scream. The jazz combo keeps playing for 3 more seconds. Then the shooting starts. Muzzle flashes light up the dark like camera bulbs. Orange bursts illuminate faces frozen in terror. The sound is deafening. Gunfire echoes off the walls. The percussion drowns out everything else. Music. Screaming. Glass breaking. All of it disappears under the roar of pistols. Lonergan drops first. Multiple rounds hit his chest. His heart stops beating before he hits the floor. His lungs fill with blood. He collapses next to the piano. His .38 pistol stays in his coat pocket. All 6 chambers are still loaded. The toothpick stays in his mouth. Aaron Harms falls beside him. He lands almost back to back with Lonergan. Both men collapse behind the upright piano. Harms has a pistol too. It is loaded. He never gets it out. 2 bullets enter his skull. He dies instantly. His body goes limp. Blood pools beneath his head. The shooting continues. People run for the door. They trip over chairs. They stumble over each other. They claw at the exit. The doorway becomes a bottleneck. Bodies pressed together. Someone falls. Others climb over. The panic is total. Cornelius Needles Ferry takes a bullet in the thigh. Another hits his ear. He staggers backward. He crashes through the front door. He makes it outside. He falls on the sidewalk. His blood smears across the concrete. He tries to crawl. He makes it 3 feet. He stops moving. Patrolman Richard Morano finds his body at 3:15 a.m. Ferry is face down in the gutter. A trail of blood leads from inside the club to where he lies. James Hart takes a round in the thigh. Another bullet grazes his ear. He does not fall. He stays on his feet. He pushes through the crowd. He makes it outside. He runs. He keeps running until his legs give out. He collapses near the corner of Flushing and Throop Avenues. He crawls on his hands and knees. Blood soaks through his pants. Patrolman Thomas McGrath finds him unconscious at 3:30 a.m. McGrath calls for an ambulance. Hart wakes up at Cumberland Street Hospital. Detectives question him. Hart claims he was shot by strangers on the street. No one believes him. Patrick Maloney and Joseph Howard escape without wounds. They run into the night. They do not look back. They disappear into Brooklyn's back alleys. Police find them 2 days later. Inside the club the lights come back on. The room is destroyed. Tables lie on their sides. Chairs are broken. Women's purses are scattered across the 15-foot dance floor. Blood stains the hardwood. Shell casings litter the floor. The Christmas banners still hang from the ceiling. The pitchers of beer still sit on the bar. The whiskey glasses are still full. But 3 men are dead. Lonergan's body lies crumpled by the piano. His wooden leg is twisted at an odd angle. His face is pale. Blood soaks his shirt. His eyes are open. Harms is beside him. His body is wedged between the piano and the wall. His hands are empty. His pockets are full. Police find his loaded pistol on him after he is removed. Outside Ferry's corpse is cooling on the sidewalk. 2 policemen stand guard at the entrance. Lonergan's crutches lean against the door frame. No one touches them. The family of 6 who live upstairs tell police they heard nothing. No gunshots. No screaming. No breaking glass. Nothing unusual at all. Just another night at the Adonis Social Club. Detectives arrive at 3:45 a.m. They photograph the scene. They measure the blood patterns. They collect shell casings. They count bullet holes in the walls. They find 7. They interview witnesses. No one saw anything. No one heard anything. 20 people were in the club. All 20 suffer from sudden amnesia. 3 Irish girls worked as cigarette girls that night. Alice Callahan. Mae Wilson. A third whose name does not appear in records. Police question all 3. None remember the shooting. Mae Wilson was waiting for Jack Stable. She was his girlfriend. She tells detectives she was in the bathroom when the lights went out. She heard nothing. She saw nothing. Piano player Joe Browning tells police he was focused on his music. He did not notice the white-handers. He did not hear the insults. He kept playing when the shooting started. He stopped only when someone pulled him off the bench and pushed him toward the exit. Bartender Anthony Desso says he ducked behind the bar when he heard the first shot. He stayed down until the police arrived. He saw nothing from his position on the floor. On December 27, 1925, detectives make arrests. 10 people are brought in for questioning. 7 are formally charged with murder. The suspects include Alphonse Capone, Jack Stable, Frank Pizzo, Ralph D'Amato, George Carrozza, Sylvester Agoglia, Anthony Desso. All have connections to Frankie Yale. All claim innocence. Capone tells detectives he was working as a doorman that night. He says he was checking coats when the shooting happened. He says he saw nothing because he was in the front hallway. Detectives photograph him for the police lineup. He stands with the others. He wears a dark suit. His face shows no emotion. He gives his name as Alphonse Capone. He lists his address in Chicago. He provides no other information. From the White Hand Gang, police charge James Hart. He is still in Cumberland Street Hospital. They charge Patrick Maloney. They charge Joseph Howard. Howard claims he was only the club singer that night. He says he was on stage when the violence started. Police do not believe him. The suspects are held on murder charges. Bail is set at different amounts. 4 suspects post bail at $10,000 each on January 2, 1926. The remaining 6 post bail at $5,000 each. All 10 walk free within a week. The investigation continues. Detectives interview more witnesses. They search for physical evidence. They look for the murder weapons. They find nothing useful. No one talks. No one cooperates. The case goes cold. Newspapers run the story for days. The Brooklyn Eagle reports the massacre. The New York Times covers it. Headlines read 3 of gang slain at Brooklyn dance. Photos show the crime scene. Images of the bodies appear in print. The public reads about Peg Leg Lornigan's death. They read about the Christmas party turned murder scene. They read about the Irish-Italian gang war. But they get no resolution. Lornigan's funeral takes place on December 29, 1925. Hundreds attend. White Hand Gang members fill the church. Dock workers line the streets. Irish families from Brooklyn neighborhoods gather to mourn. His widow wears black. His mother Mary Lornigan stands beside the casket. Mary killed Lornigan's father John years earlier in self-defense during a domestic dispute. A jury acquitted her. Now she buries her son. The casket is carried from the church. A crowd watches in silence. Police officers monitor the funeral. They photograph attendees. They write down license plate numbers. They watch for trouble. No violence erupts. The White Handers bury their leader without incident. Cornelius Ferry is buried the same week. His funeral draws fewer mourners. Aaron Harms is laid to rest in a Brooklyn cemetery. The 3 men who died together are buried separately. Their families grieve privately. The newspapers move on to other stories. The Adonis Social Club Massacre destroys the White Hand Gang. Without Lornigan, the organization fragments. Members scatter. Some join other crews. Some leave the criminal life. Some die in unrelated violence. Within 2 years, the White Hand Gang ceases to exist as a functioning organization. The Brooklyn waterfront falls under Italian control. Frankie Yale takes over the docks. He collects the money. He controls the cargo. He runs the territory without opposition. Yale's victory is complete. He eliminated his primary rival. He expanded his operations. He solidified his power. The massacre was not random violence. It was calculated elimination. Yale likely planned the hit. He invited Capone to New York. He arranged for Lonergan to be tipped off about the party. He ensured the white-handers would show up drunk and aggressive. He positioned his men inside the club. He waited for the right moment. Then he gave the signal. Capone's role remains disputed. Some historians believe he fired shots that night. Others think he was present but not directly involved. A few argue he was simply in the wrong place at wrong time. The truth is buried with the dead. No witness testified against him. No physical evidence connected him to the murders. No charges stuck. He returned to Chicago in early January 1926. He never faced trial for the Adonis Club killings. The police investigation officially remains open but inactive. No one is ever prosecuted for the murders of Richard Lonergan, Aaron Harms, or Cornelius Ferry. The case joins hundreds of other unsolved gang killings from Prohibition-era New York. District attorneys have no cooperative witnesses. Detectives have no physical evidence that leads to convictions. The suspects maintain their innocence. The code of silence holds. Forensic examination of the crime scene provided limited information. Police recovered multiple shell casings. They identified at least 3 different caliber weapons used in the shooting. They documented 7 bullet holes in the walls and furniture. They found 2 loaded pistols on the deceased white-handers. But they never recovered the murder weapons. The guns disappeared that night. They were likely disposed of immediately after the shooting. The building at 152 20th Street continues operating as a social club for several more years. New management takes over. The name changes. The reputation lingers. People in Brooklyn know what happened there. Some avoid the location. Others are drawn to its dark history. The club eventually closes in the 1930s. The building is later demolished. Modern structures now occupy the site. Nothing remains to mark where 3 men died on Christmas night. Frankie Yale prospers after the massacre. He expands his bootlegging empire. He controls gambling operations. He runs loan sharking networks. He becomes president of the Unione Sicilienne, a powerful Italian-American organization. He maintains his status as Brooklyn's top gangster. His success lasts until July 1, 1928. Yale is driving on 44th Street in Brooklyn when a black sedan pulls alongside his car. Machine gun fire tears through his vehicle. Yale is hit multiple times. He dies instantly. His murder is never solved. Some believe Capone ordered the hit. Others blame rival New York gangs. Yale's elaborate funeral draws thousands. He is buried with honors. Within 3 years of the Adonis Club Massacre, both gang leaders are dead. Al Capone returns to Chicago with enhanced reputation. Word spreads about the Brooklyn hit. Gangsters know he participated in eliminating the white hand leadership. His status rises. He is seen as Yale's trusted associate. He is viewed as reliable muscle. He is respected as a man who does what needs to be done. This reputation serves him well in Chicago's violent underworld. Capone's police photograph from December 26, 1925 becomes famous. It shows him young and well-dressed. His face is smooth. His eyes are calm. He shows no sign of stress or worry. The image is one of his earliest police photos. It captures him at a pivotal moment. He is transitioning from Yale's employee to Chicago's rising power. The Adonis Club Massacre marks his evolution from street thug to calculating killer. The massacre influences Capone's later tactics. He learns the value of sudden, overwhelming violence. He sees how quickly a gang can be decapitated by killing its leader. He understands that witnesses will not talk if the fear is strong enough. These lessons shape his approach to Chicago's gang wars. He uses similar methods in future hits. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre on February 14, 1929 echoes the Adonis Club killing. Victims are caught off guard. The violence is swift and total. No one is prosecuted. The Italian-Irish gang wars in Brooklyn diminish after 1925. The white-handers are finished. Other Irish gangs avoid direct confrontation with Italian organizations. The balance of power shifts permanently. Italian-American criminals dominate New York's underworld for decades. The pattern spreads to other cities. Chicago, Philadelphia, Boston, Detroit, Italian mobs gain control. The Adonis Club Massacre is one battle in a larger war. It is one night in a long campaign. By 1930 the speakeasy at 152 20th Street is forgotten by most New Yorkers. The building blends into the neighborhood. The bloodstains are scrubbed away. The bullet holes are patched. The memories fade. But the violence remains in police records. Crime scene photographs survive in archives. Newspaper accounts preserve the details. Historians document the event. The massacre becomes part of gangster mythology. Within hours the blood was washed away. But Brooklyn's waterfront would never be the same again.